Once upon a time, in a cozy African village, there lived a young girl named Kemi. From the moment she was born, Kemi was a thin baby, her slender frame standing out amidst the robust figures of her peers. As Kemi got older, people teased her. They laughed at her for being thin. From childhood, she endured names like Twig, Sparrow, and Skeleton, her thinness becoming a target for mockery and scorn. Despite her attempts to brush off the hurtful words, they pierced her heart like thorns, embedding themselves deeply within her. Amidst the darkness, however, there was a beacon of light in Kemi's life, her loyal friend Adeola. Through thick and thin, Adeola stood by Kemi's side, offering words of encouragement and a shoulder to lean on in times of need. As the years passed, Kemi's thinness remained unchanged, her skinny stature setting her apart from the other girls in the village. Even though Kemi tried hard to eat a lot and never skipped meals, she stayed thin. Her body shape not changing, no matter how much she ate, she stayed thin. It was during her teenage years that Kemi's desire to change her appearance reached a breaking point. Life got harder. The teasing she'd faced since she was young became harsher, and it hurt more each time. She felt like she didn't belong, like everyone was judging her for being too thin. One day during a village festival celebrating the harvest, Kemi excitedly joined in the festivities with her peers dressed in her traditional attire. She felt a sense of belonging among the vibrant colors and joyful music. As the festival buzzed with excitement, Kemi joined the circle of girls, her smile radiant with anticipation. But as she twirled in her colorful attire, the whispers of mockery began to spread like wildfire among the group. "Look at her," one girl snickered, barely masking her laughter. "She's like a tree that tied a wrapper." The cruel words pierced Kemi's heart like arrows, but she tried to maintain her composure, masking her hurt behind a strained smile. Another girl chimed in, her voice dripping with disdain. "And she's as slim as a stick. How does she even wear those clothes?" Tears threatened to spill from Kemi's eyes as she struggled to contain her emotions. Feeling the weight of their mockery bearing down upon her, she turned to leave, hoping to escape the cruel taunts. But before she could take a step, Adeola appeared by her side, a fierce determination in her eyes. "Hey!" Adeola's voice rang out, cutting through the laughter of the girls. "That's not funny. Kemi looks beautiful, and you know it." Turning to Kemi, Adeola offered a reassuring smile. "Come on, let's go somewhere else. We don't need to be around people who don't appreciate your beauty." With a grateful nod, Kemi followed Adeola away from the circle. From then on, every glance in the mirror became a struggle. She wanted to look like the other girls, to feel pretty and accepted, but no matter what she did, it never felt like enough. The pressure to change herself, to fit in, became too much to bear. It felt like she was constantly fighting against this idea of who she was supposed to be, and she couldn't handle it anymore. One day, while wandering through the village, she encountered Bimbo and Ronke, who approached her with an offer that seemed too good to be true. "With all seriousness, Kemi," Bimbo said, mischief gleaming in her eyes, "if you want to become fat, we can help you." Kemi's eyes widened in surprise. "Really?" she asked, her voice tinged with hope. "Yes, indeed," Ronke chimed in. "And you don't have to pay anything. We only need to prepare a special liquid for you to drink 3 times a day." Eager to change her appearance and desperate for acceptance, Kemi readily agreed to their offer. The next day, she met Bimbo and Ronke in secret, her heart racing with anticipation as they presented her with a small vial of liquid. Unbeknownst to Kemi, however, the concoction they had given her was nothing more than a disgusting mixture of cat poop blended with spices. But blinded by her desire for transformation, Kemi drank the foul liquid without hesitation, convinced that it held the key to her dreams. Days turned into weeks, and Kemi faithfully consumed the noxious potion, her hopes soaring with each passing day. But when Bimbo and Ronke encountered her in the market square and asked if she was still drinking the liquid, their laughter shattered Kemi's illusion of acceptance. Before she could comprehend what was happening, they began to mock her mercilessly, revealing the true nature of the concoction she had been consuming. Humiliated and betrayed, Kemi felt the weight of their words crushing down upon her, tears welling up in her eyes as the villagers joined in their laughter. Heartbroken and ashamed, Kemi ran home and locked herself away, the echoes of their mockery ringing in her ears. For 2 days, she remained hidden from the world, her spirit broken and her hope extinguished. After 2 days of isolation, Kemi's parents couldn't bear it any longer. They broke down the door to find their daughter lying lifeless on the ground, a small poison bottle she had consumed to kill herself discarded nearby. With fear gripping their hearts, they rushed Kemi to Mama Awero, the village herbalist, desperately seeking her guidance and wisdom. With Mama Awero's expertise, Kemi was miraculously brought back to life. But the ordeal had left its mark on her. She withdrew from everyone in the village, speaking only to her friend Adeola and her parents. Adeola, always by her side, offered unwavering support and comfort. One sunny afternoon, Gabenga, an artist in search of inspiration, was sketching the vibrant scenery of the small village when he noticed Kemi. She was gracefully moving among the trees in her backyard, completely absorbed in the beauty of nature. Gabenga was initially drawn to the area for its picturesque landscapes, but it was Kemi's elegance that truly mesmerized him. He decided to paint her, a decision she was unaware of as she continued with her day, oblivious to his watchful eyes. Their peaceful moment was abruptly interrupted when Kemi looked up and caught Gabenga staring at her. Panicked and fearing mockery, she rushed back to her house, locking herself away. Her reaction was a mix of surprise and fear, not understanding Benga's intentions. Despite Kemi's abrupt departure, Benga couldn't shake the image of her grace from his mind. He returned to her garden day after day, hoping for another chance to see her, each time leaving disappointed. It was on one of these days that Adeola, Kemi's protective friend, confronted him. "Why do you keep coming here? What do you want with Kemi?" she demanded, her tone accusatory. Yet Benga, taken aback by the confrontation, replied earnestly, "I mean no harm. I'm here because I'm an artist. The beauty of this place is what I came to capture, but it was Kemi's presence that struck me the most. I only wished to paint her, to capture her grace on canvas." Adeola, still wary but moved by his sincerity, decided to relay his message to Kemi. She approached Kemi with a softness in her voice. "Kemi, there's an artist who's been coming here. He's not like the others. He sees something special in you. He wants to paint you, to show the beauty he sees." Kemi, intrigued yet hesitant, agreed to meet Gabenga. Their meeting was cautious at first, but Gabenga's genuine demeanor slowly eased her apprehension. "I'm sorry if I scared you the other day," Benga began, his voice gentle. "I've traveled a long way in search of beauty and inspiration. Then I saw you, and I couldn't help but be captivated. Your grace, your connection with nature, it's something truly special. I would be honored if you would allow me to paint you. I want to capture the beauty I see in you, on canvas, for the world to appreciate." Kemi, touched by his words and sincerity, found herself agreeing. "I've never thought of myself in the way you describe, but I'm curious to see myself through your eyes. Yes, you may paint me." As Gabenga set up his canvas, Kemi posed in the garden, surrounded by the natural beauty that had initially brought him to her. They talked and laughed, and for the first time, Kemi felt seen in a way she never had before. When Gabenga finally revealed the completed painting, Kemi was speechless. The canvas held more than just her image. It captured her essence, her spirit intertwined with the beauty of nature around her. "Seeing yourself through someone else's eyes can be a powerful experience," Gabenga said, watching her reaction. "I hope when you look at this painting, you see the extraordinary person I see." Kemi nodded, her eyes reflecting a mix of emotions. In that moment, she realized that beauty is not just what you see on the outside, but the light that shines from within. Gabenga's painting was not just a portrait of her, it was a mirror showing her the depth of her own beauty, a beauty that had always been there but she had failed to see. While Kemi shared her deepest hurts with Gabenga, her tears flowed freely, each one a symbol of the painful mockery she'd faced from the villagers over the years. Her voice shook as she told him about the harsh words and mocking laughter that seemed to follow her wherever she went. Yet in Gabenga's kind presence, she found a rare sense of comfort and understanding. Seeing her pain, Gabenga reached out to gently wipe her tears away. He looked straight into her eyes, his own filled with a deep, genuine belief, and said, "Kemi, in my eyes, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. It's not just about your looks. Your grace, your inner strength, and the way you've stood strong against all odds shine brighter than anything I could ever put on canvas." Kemi felt a spark of hope light up inside her as Gabenga spoke these words. Gabenga shared with Kemi that he would be traveling back the next day, but promised her he would return soon. Holding on to this promise, Kemi felt comforted and looked forward to seeing him again, her heart buoyed by his words. However, as time unfolded, days turned into weeks, and weeks stretched into months. Yet Gabenga did not return as he had promised. Each day that passed without any sign of him saw Kemi's hope gradually wane. The initial comfort and optimism his words had provided started to fade, replaced by a growing sense of abandonment. This prolonged silence from Gabenga, coupled with the absence of any message or explanation, led Kemi to retreat once again into her shell. The vibrant spark of hope that Gabenga's promise had lit within her was slowly extinguished as the waiting turned from days to months without a word. The joy and anticipation that once filled her heart gave way to solitude and a poignant longing for the fulfillment of a promise that seemed increasingly distant with each passing day. One day, in the quiet warmth of the afternoon, Kemi's routine was interrupted by a knock at her door. Curious and a bit cautious, she walked over and opened it, only to find Gabenga standing there. A familiar face, but this time, not alone. He was accompanied by a group of people dressed in fine clothes, their looks hinting they weren't from around here. "We've come a long way to see you, Kemi," said one of the visitors, her voice filled with excitement. "Your portrait by Gabenga has reached the royal court, and everyone is talking about it. We're here on behalf of the royal envoy to extend an invitation to you. They wish to honor your beauty and the story behind this masterpiece." Kemi was speechless. This was something straight out of a storybook, a twist in her life she never saw coming. Gabenga, who had always been by her side, now shared a look with her that said, "See, I told you there was something special about you." In the days that followed, Kemi's world turned upside down, in a good way. Her portrait was now not just a village wonder, but a celebrated piece in high circles, bringing her a kind of recognition she'd never imagined. And as her story spread, those who once mocked her now looked at her with respect. But what mattered more to Kemi during this whirlwind was Gabenga. Throughout it all, Gabenga was her steadfast support, their friendship deepening into something more. As they watched a sunset together, Gabenga confessed, "Kemi, I've seen something special in you from the start. It's not just your outer beauty that draws me in, but your strength, kindness, and spirit. I love you." Kemi, feeling the same deep connection, replied, "Gabenga, being with you has shown me I'm worthy of love. I love you too." Their confession marked the beginning of a new chapter. What started as mentorship and friendship had blossomed into love, a love built on mutual respect, understanding, and the shared journey of overcoming adversity. As the sun set, turning the sky to gold, Kemi and Gabenga, hand in hand, faced their future together, a future bright with promise. Their love story, a testament to the power of acceptance and the beauty of seeing and being seen, left an indelible mark on the village, turning whispers of scorn into words of pride.